All right, and your underlying energy, like I said before, was the Magician. Now, when it comes to making the effort, right, it's always about focusing on what needs to be done, on what you need to do, and what you have to do, and just making the first step. And I think there's a lot of changes that are going on, especially big changes that actually affect you in a very intimate way. So it's, in a way, I think the cards are asking and gently nudging you towards a change in your life that's going to be beneficial, but it's hurtful and painful right now because there's a lot of healing that's involved with this too. There's a lot of growth that's coming with this, a lot of spiritual growth, and a lot of trusting your intuition, because there's no way of knowing exactly how it'll turn out, but knowing that you have yourself to lean on, that you have, your guidance system, which is your intuition, and, honestly, building trust with yourself, that's what's going to be that's the biggest reward that you guys can take from this. Okay, because honestly, the challenge that you have right now is the Three of Pentacles, which means that y'all having a harder time seeing like what potential future either guys have together, or you guys are having a hard time coming up with plans that work together, work with either one of you. Like there may be compromises that need to take place, and which one may not be too much in favor for, or this is about like plans for the future period, taking action on those plans. It may be hard to do those things because you're leaving behind something that is, that's deeply engraved into your life, right? Now, the mindset going to this relationship is very interesting because typically I read this default side as you guys, Geminis, but of course you are allowed, to pick the other side if it resonates with you better than this side. But it's interesting, the mindset that this person is going into this relationship is old issues, old pains, sadness. Like somebody's probably having a bit of anxiety right now. And I don't see the Three of Swords as an anxious card, but I do see the Three of Swords as the card of, oh my goodness, something hurts. The triggered card, the card that, and like, that lets you know that you still have something that's bugging you, and there's things around you right now that's making it hypersensitive. It's like messing with an agitated sore, right? You're just gonna, if you touch around it, there's still that it's not the touching around it that's the problem. It's the fact that that thing that's there, that's getting agitated, is still there. So I think this person is seeing this relationship either as something that hurts them, that's triggering something that's old, that bugs them, that's still bugging them still. This could also indicate here that this is something that's happened recently. This is some old, some pains, not old issues, but somebody may have been hurt along the way. Somebody may have been feeling pain, or maybe somebody hurt someone else, or somebody's been feeling some heartache here from the other person, or somewhere. There's definitely some pain when it comes to this relationship. I don't know if it's the relationship itself, or if it's something else outside of that, because everyone's story is different. And by the way this looks, it could definitely be something old, because the Devil card, when it comes up, it can indicate that there's some actions or behaviors that are done to compensate for the pain that happens here. So maybe someone's doing some things that, there are old habits that give temporary relief, but truly don't really benefit in the growth of the relationship, or benefit in the growth of yourself. It truly doesn't heal the problem, because you're giving up your power momentarily to something that will give you momentary relief, and that's what the Devil represents. In order for you to truly be able to overcome these pains, you have to drop the burden. You have to relieve yourself of this habit of giving away your power. But this other person sees this as also as a big change too, leaving behind the old. It's similar to the Three of Swords, but this one isn't like direct hit from this person. I feel like this person is relieving themselves of of things too. They're making some major changes. All on this side here is all major arcana cards. All major arcana cards in that definitely talk about changes. And the Magician coming up in your underlying energy does, talk about courage, and not courage, but more of confidence in yourself, having everything you need, having all the tools that you need to, to make the transitions, to manifest the dreams that you want. Ultimate and utter belief in yourself, right? Understanding that you have everything that you need, and changes are a huge impact in this whole thing. It's very big for this individual, because right now their mentality going in this relationship is like death, leaving behind the old, embracing the new, or preparing to embrace the new. But right now they're looking at everything they have to let go of, everything that doesn't serve them anymore, everything that's keeping them from reaching their prosperity. They're seeing this as an opportunity for new life, but after they've made space for it, because there's some things that they still have to release themselves. There's some space that they still have to make for potential for life, and some of this could be that there's this change that's against their, not against their will, but against their desired timing, right? Because I think there's some changes that they're making happen, but they would prefer to happen at maybe another time, and that's like this. But the tower is happening which way without you, right? They're going to do it whether you're in it or not. Like, it's like, look, we are changing this for you. If you're not ready, too bad, kind of like thing, right? So I think this person is making these changes and definitely shifting their life around, and they're having to overcome a lot of the old stuff, move on from a lot of the old stuff here. But they're doing this because they know ultimately they're going to start a new journey and begin a new life, and they don't want to bring all the old baggage stuff with them. They're truly healing and moving forward from the situation. And I think it's hard for them ultimately, right? It's so hard for them because this is them actively making the changes themselves. They're making the changes themselves, even though it hurts. Now, at the same time, this doesn't have to be that they're making the changes here. It could be that they're resisting the changes and things are happening anyway, and it's not necessarily out of their control, but they don't feel like they're in control. They feel like they're just kind of rolling with the punches. And if they try to resist the tower, they're going to fall way harder on their ass than they realize. But the point of all this is that this person is going through some serious changes, and it's hard because they have to roll with the punches. They have to kind of just, go with it, and it's hard to resist, and it's hard to continue. But they understand that there's a new life at the end of the tunnel. There's a new light at the end of the tunnel, but they have to keep going. They have to keep pushing through. Eventually, they know that everything happens for a reason. I feel like this person understands that this way of life is going to get them to a better place, but it has to start by making space and clearing out the BS, clearing out the stuff that doesn't really work, clear out the perspectives, the beliefs, the mindsets that don't help them manifest the happiness that they want to make. Because I feel like the thing that brought you guys together was a dream, was a wish. Love, obviously, right? The Queen of Cups is all about love. It's all about the feelings of those emotions. And I feel like those, being together awoken a lot of those feelings. And I feel like both of you guys have, met each other through, means of just spiritual guidance. Like, you guys have just connected with one another in a way, like it can feel like it's by chance, by miracle, but it's really your spirits like connecting each other. You guys knew exactly who each other were in another life, or you guys just were led to each other. You guys trusted your intuition, and boom, here you are. Love is what brought you together. Your dreams, your ideas, what your desires were, your raw essence of feeling and your healing energies brought you two together because you guys both have really strong healing qualities that help each other out. And that is what's going to help you overcome this challenge, which is the Three of Pentacles, right? Facing the practical, looking at everything that you guys have gone through, maybe facing a lot of the difficulties and the challenges that you've already faced and working past those things, right? Because it can be hard, especially if a lot of this stuff is coming up. And if this is a relationship that everything's, all this mess is happening in one relationship and not from a past one, it could be very difficult to find ways to continue to improve, to move forward. But the effort that y'all making here with the changes that you're making and the adjustments that you're making here, I mean, there's no point in looking at the future right now, because what you guys really need to focus on is the present. What future y'all have doesn't really matter at this moment, because right now y'all are going through changes and transitions. Now, the thing that I guess I can take back from what I just said there with it doesn't matter is that if this person's just too broken up to be able to move forward, if they see this relationship as too far gone, like if this is you guys and you guys are just too done in, then you guys are just too done in, right? But that doesn't mean that this is the end game. This doesn't mean that this, you have to break up. It just means that you can't go the way that you've been going. You may have to take action and do something differently, that the same as this person here is as well. But there's a lot of pain when you look at this relationship, whether this is from this relationship itself or from something else, and this causing you to retract back to old habits of behavior, causing you to look at old patterns and to behave in an old way. Or perhaps this is like giving up your power. You feel disempowered. You feel trapped, or you may feel like you are tied to this relationship. You are connected to this relationship, and even though you feel like you're tied and connected to this relationship, you're still experiencing these pains. And the reason why you're feeling like you can't let go, but you can't release this pain that you have here either, is because this is something that, obviously that's old, you've been through a lot of, and it's just time to put down that burden. It's time to relieve yourself of that pressure. I don't know if you're using this relationship even as a sense of escape too, because the Queen of Cups and the Devil, that could be a very pleasurable escape moment, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't feel like that's that for you. Some of you, for all of you guys at all, if not even for any of you. But I do feel like there is a piece of you that's holding on to this pain, which is connected to this Ten of Wands. And that's the hard part, right? The relieving of this. Because it's not like a walk in the park. Okay, we'll just leave it on the side of the road. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. But it's also understanding that it doesn't have to be hard if you continue to resist it. Okay, so wow, really strong reading this time. It's it's hard because there's resistance there. That there's things that you're clinging back to. But the thing that you have to remember is that catching on to those patterns is what's going to help you take the different steps forward. Looking at what you feel disempowered by, right? Looking at what you're giving your power away to. Is it the pains that you're giving your power away to? And that does require effort to shake that off, to keep from giving that person or giving that pain any more ammo to continue to rule your life. Right? Get your power back by letting go of this situation. And some of you guys, it's hard, right? Because some of this is some things that that has helped you in the long run. This may not be one of those times, though. This is all about getting your power back. The Magician is all about getting your power back. But how you guys do it is all up to you. Alright, imagine. I like this. So this is talking about manifestation, imagining, dreaming, being in dreamland, I like that card because it inspires you to think outside of the the rhetoric and the crazy and the change, and truly just go with what your heart wants and just let it just dream. Let it just be free. Let your heart explore and to travel in the beautiful world of imagination. Creation starts with imagination. And I feel like in order for you to do it, it's time to break free of, of this reality, if that makes sense, and the reality of this pain. Understanding that this pain is not here to hurt you anymore. It is time to heal. Because the dreaming and the imagining, that will help you heal even more, because that will give you something to reach for. It'll give you a goal. It'll give you something to, to go after. If you're constantly reminded of a pain, of hurts, that's not going to give you much incentive to be able to seize your power again, right? So imagine a life where you can be happy. Imagine a relationship with someone you can trust. Imagine you being free of pain. And those things you can overcome, but you have to choose to. And that's why Make the Effort is such an important card to have right now, because it's like you have everything that you need, always and forever, to overcome this pain, overcome all of this. Especially if this is something that's every year, every so often, something that's reoccurring, it comes back up. It's because don't let that pain dictate your life. Don't let this be the weight on your back. Come up with new dreams. Strive for new things, because you're trusting yourself with the ability to overcome all this, because you ultimately know, a piece of you always knows that you can overcome anything, overcome all obstacles. And even if these are something to do with plans, you can overcome those. You can overcome that self-doubt and that those old issues. You can come all those things and just be able to just dream freely and plan freely and be yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't hurt yourself anymore. Don't allow the pain to hurt you.